I recently reviewed the Turtle Beach Stealth 600 Gen 2, a $99 wireless headset designed to work out of the box with the upcoming Xbox Series X and Series S. A bigger and more expensive Stealth 700 has now made its presence known and is available for online ordering. But what extra features does this more premium version offer, and is it worth it? The Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2 is a wireless gaming headset that pairs natively with Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PC with the wireless PC adapter. It retails for $149 and became available to purchase on September 20th. Much of the core functionality of the Stealth 700 Gen 2 carries over from its little brother, the Stealth 600 Gen 2. Any products I mention can be purchased through our affiliate link down in the description below. The first thing you'll notice coming from the less expensive Stealth 600 is that the Stealth 700 is an entirely different device. Now, you would expect many of the pieces to come from the same parts bin in order to cut down on some of the production costs. However, the vast majority of the product is comprised of entirely unique components. The ear cups have a much more bolstered design and use a leather and suede-like combination that comes as a welcome departure from the 600's cloth composition. The use of cooling gel-infused memory foam is claimed to be supportive while preventing your ears from overheating, a common problem with these well-isolated ear cups. The headband is reinforced with a metal core, and soft-touch material on the exterior of the headband replaces the hard plastic of the Stealth 600. The microphone has been modified to conceal itself even more effectively than the already subtle 600 mic. Unless you know what you're looking for, you'd be forgiven for not realizing this headset has a microphone at all. It just looks like a pair of headphones. It would seem that every physical component of the Stealth 600 has been touched on and enhanced on the 700 to reflect its higher asking price. Another major departure, however, is the lack of color. The 600 comes with either green or blue trim pieces for Xbox and PlayStation respectively. The body of the 600 can also be found in white. The 700, on the other hand, comes in just one color option: black with silver trim. No doubt this accent was chosen to complement this new metal headband piece, but it now means the Xbox and PlayStation versions look 100% identical. Keep this in mind when you're shopping this holiday season, as the Xbox and PlayStation versions are not cross-compatible. Consider yourself warned. The number one feature attracting customers to the Stealth series of headsets is the Xbox Direct Connect technology. By using the Xbox Wireless Protocol, the Stealth headsets can connect with Xbox as easily as a controller would. Just press the sync button on the headset, the sync button on the Xbox, and you're good to go. The new Stealth 600 and 700 work with current generation Xbox One consoles and will work with next generation Xbox Series X and Series S. If you have a PC with the Xbox wireless adapter, it will work with that as well. The flip-up to mute mic, Windows Sonic surround sound, 20-hour battery life, and superhuman hearing all move over essentially unchanged from the Stealth 600 Gen 2. If you want to know more about these specific features, watch my full review of the 600 up here. The hardware is comprised of the same 50mm nano clear drivers, but I'm told they've been tweaked for the Stealth 700 to make use of the more isolated design of the ear cups. The ProSpecs glasses-friendly design is a little more advanced here, allowing users to remove the ear cups and adjust exactly how deep they want to make those channels for the arms of their glasses. But the biggest feature differentiating the 700 from the 600, apart obviously from the upgraded fit and finish, is the inclusion of Bluetooth. To be clear, when gaming or consuming media where low latency is a priority, you'll always want to use the Xbox Wireless Protocol. Bluetooth should be used as an accessory, usually while connected to your mobile device. The only other feature supported by the Stealth 700 and not the 600 is the Turtle Beach Audio Hub mobile app. Now, the app is not required to use the headset. I was able to connect to Bluetooth, listen to music, and take phone calls before ever downloading the app to my phone. However, the app is required to customize the headset to your liking. It allows users to monitor battery life, toggle superhuman hearing, change the audio presets, alter the Bluetooth volume, modify the equalizer, adjust the mic monitor level, enable chat boost, and remap the mode button. While yes, the headset will work out of the box, you really won't unlock the full potential unless you use the mobile app. From the moment I unboxed the Stealth 700 Gen 2, it felt like a much more premium experience than the 600 Gen 2. The box is larger and foam padding gently cradles the headset within. Now this is normally where I would showcase more of the packaging and unboxing, but unfortunately, my review sample seems to have undergone a bit of an adventure before it arrived at my doorstep. What's interesting is the cardboard box the device was delivered in was completely unharmed, indicating that the headset box was either repackaged somewhere along the way, or it was damaged before it was ever sent to me. I alerted my contact at Turtle Beach, who reassured me that although this appears to be an isolated singular incident, it would be investigated thoroughly. All of the original paperwork was still intact, but the charging cable was unfortunately unaccounted for. But since this was merely a standard USB-C cable, its absence really didn't impact my testing. Thankfully, the headset itself appeared to escape the incident completely unscathed. Holding the two headsets in my hand, it's immediately apparent what your extra $50 gets you. Every piece of the Stealth 600 Gen 2 feels superior to the budget-friendly offering. While the metal reinforced headband is welcome, the visual notches indicating the adjustment size have been removed. If your OCD requires you to keep both sides adjusted to the same level, like mine does, then this is going to annoy you greatly. While they should deliver a very comfortable listening experience for most people, I found the ear cups to be a little too confined for my admittedly larger than average ears. Regardless, I still found them comfortable for several hours of use at a time. Because of the lack of color, the hidden microphone, and the overall understated design, the Stealth 700 Gen 2 is the most innocuous looking Turtle Beach product I have ever tested. And because it supports Bluetooth, you could legitimately use these as your day-to-day wireless headphones without looking like a complete doofus. From an audio perspective, the Stealth 700 Gen 2 has a much punchier sound signature than its little brother. As a result of the thicker padding around the ear cups, sound isolation is also much improved. I mentioned this before in my Elite Pro 2 review, but Bluetooth is an absolute game changer if you've never had a headset that supports it. If you receive a call while you're in the middle of a competitive match, it's not exactly convenient to remove your headset and take a call on your phone, especially when both hands are preoccupied. And that's assuming you even hear your phone ringing at all. It's easy to miss phone calls when the sound isolation is as effective as it is here. The Stealth 700 Gen 2 can take incoming calls by utilizing the microphone and speakers you're already wearing. If a call happens to come in, your game volume will automatically turn down, alerting you of the incoming call. Simply press the Bluetooth button on the back of the headset, and it will seamlessly switch your microphone from game chat to your phone call. The game audio will continue to play softly in the background. When the call is complete, simply press the Bluetooth button again, and the call will end. The mic switches back over to game chat, and the volume level returns to its previous level. In practice, this works really well and does a very effective job of reassuring you why that extra $50 was well spent. Although I was impressed by the audio fidelity and Bluetooth performance, the connection reliability is where things started to fall apart. Using my Xbox, the connection was very reliable. I would occasionally encounter brief lapses in audio, but considering my less than ideal testing environment that I outlined in my Stealth 600 review, I'm actually really impressed that the connection was as reliable as it was. But using the Xbox wireless adapter for PC, the device was basically unusable. I tried 2 different adapters in 3 different USB ports, and the experience was always the same: constant static and sporadic audio. I checked for firmware updates, and as of recording, nothing has been released. Hopefully a patch comes through at some point, because this was truly unacceptable performance. Now, I recognize that the target demographic for this device are Xbox users and not PC, but if Turtle Beach is going to advertise that it works with the wireless PC adapter, then it needs to work with the wireless PC adapter. On top of the poor connection reliability, the mobile app is basically broken. Well, not basically. It's broken. I wish I could have reviewed the app experience and included footage from my own use, but I honestly couldn't get the app to recognize the headset at all. Just to be thorough, I then downloaded the app on 2 different iPhones and 3 additional Android devices, and they all had the same problem. Some were able to connect to the headset via Bluetooth, but for some reason the iPhones seemed to struggle to even do that. The remaining devices, while connected on Bluetooth, were not able to see the device in the Audio Hub app, and this was my own personal experience with my own phone. Ideally, I would look at another sample in an attempt to replicate the experience I had. Unfortunately, since I only have the one device to test, I had to do something I normally don't ever do. I waited, and I watched other reviews of this device after the embargo lifted. This partially explains why this review comes several days after everyone else's have published. The entire script of this review, up until this very moment, was written well before I watched any other product reviews, and I only watched them to see if other reviewers encountered these similar issues. Well, what I found was disappointing. Not only does the app not work for just about every review I watched, it's the only way to modify some of the settings of the headset. Even the Audio Hub application for PC is only good for updating the firmware on the headset, not for changing the headset settings like the mobile app can. This is a really poor design. So I'm literally finishing up editing this video you're watching right now, and I'm about to throw it up on YouTube here probably in the next hour. And I go to delete the app from my phone, and guess what decides to start working? The Audio Hub app. So once I got the app running, it actually seems to work pretty well. It does everything that it advertises it can do, and it does it instantly on the headset. It infinitely increases the capabilities of the headset and makes it an immediate great recommendation. But if you look at the reviews across the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store, they're all very, very unfavorable. So I know I'm not the only person that had difficulties getting this thing running. On paper, the Stealth 700 Gen 2 should be a formidable player in the premium wireless headset market. In reality, there are certainly some glaring concerns. Now, truth be told, the vast majority of customers are going to be using the Stealth 700 Gen 2 exclusively with their consoles, so the inexcusable experience I had on PC isn't really going to matter to them. Additionally, I've used the Audio Hub with other Turtle Beach products in the past. While the generous list of customization options is appreciated, these are settings that are generally only going to be configured the first time you set up the headset. As a general rule, users won't really be opening the app beyond that. But with those major caveats out of the way, and those are significant considerations, this is still a $150 product. It's not unreasonable that some consumers would find themselves dissatisfied with their purchase. Thankfully, the hardware, which is infinitely harder to fix on a wide scale, is fantastic. If the PC adapter and the mobile app worked as advertised, this would easily be near the top of my list. Now, normally, I try to give away the products I review to try to remain impartial and to show my appreciation to my subscribers. However, since future updates will ultimately determine my final recommendation, and considering the state of the packaging, I think I'm going to hold on to this one for a while. If Turtle Beach does come out with significant updates to the headset firmware and the mobile app, I'll likely revisit the headset at that time, but as it currently stands, I can only recommend this headset if you plan to exclusively use it with your console and have no intention of using the mobile app. Although we won't be giving away the Stealth 700, always check the video description to see what items we are currently handing out. Down there you will also find affiliate links to all the products mentioned, and also links to our t-shirts that we designed ourselves. Check out our other videos over here and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any future content. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch you in the next one.